Hi, this is Paul at School Bus Talk. At School Bus Talk, we talk about everything having to do with school buses, focusing on safety to promote learning. On this episode of Bus Talk, I'm going to react and give my opinion to the school bus driver shortage. The school bus driver shortage has been much in the student transportation system news. As well, it's an issue that's been covered in many communities in their local news, as well as in the national news here in the USA. Now, the school bus driver shortage is not just an issue here in the United States, it's also an international issue. There is a school bus driver shortage in Canada as well. So on this episode, I am going to give, in my opinion, what are the top 3 root causes of the school bus driver shortage in the USA and Canada? The number one reason for the school bus shortage is pay and hours. Now, I retired about 5 years ago and trained to be a school bus driver after a 25-year career in a high-stress job where I worked 55 hours a week and was on call 24/7. I wanted to keep working and I wanted to do something that served my community, so that's the reason that I am a school bus driver. But if you're a school bus driver and it's your primary gig as a wage earner, it's pretty hard to make it. Now, the school district I work for here in Northern California is fairly generous. We make over $20 an hour to drive school bus. But if that's your primary gig and you don't have a spouse or life partner that has a job as well, it's pretty hard to make ends meet. In addition, a lot of school bus drivers work a morning shift and then they have to come in and work as a campus supervisor at a school site and then come in and work an afternoon route in order to get enough hours to become a fully vested employee with pension and health benefits. And then they also end up working at summer school. Now, commercial drivers with good driving records are well sought after in the employment market. So if you compare school bus driving to, like, say, a UPS driver who starts out making $21 to $24 an hour with full benefits, it really doesn't compare. The number 2 reason for the school bus driver shortage is licensing and certification. I've done 2 videos on school bus driver licensing and certification. The first video sets forth all the requirements for training and examination to become a fully licensed and certified school bus driver. The second video discusses the 5-year recertification of a school bus driver at the California Highway Patrol. Now, there's numerous and many requirements for licensing and certifying a school bus driver. Now, I know some rookie school bus drivers that it's taken as much as 6 months. There's really no other commercial driver that has as many requirements as a school bus driver. Perhaps a Class A truck driver that's hauling hazardous materials. Because in addition to all the licensing and examinations, you have to be able to pass a DOT drug test and DOT physical, and that includes testing negative for marijuana. Now, I'm not in favor of reducing any of the standards for becoming a licensed and certified school bus driver, except perhaps maybe the under the hood mechanical requirements and knowledge test. That seems like that might be prudent to reduce that. But otherwise, school bus drivers are hauling precious cargo, our kids. The third cause of the school bus driver shortage is you have to be good working with kids and youth. Now, in my opinion, working with kids and youth is kind of a skill or a knack. Either you have it or you don't. Now, my wife and I have been married 30 years. We raised 2 boys that are now adult, independent men. So I use my background and parenting skills when working with the kids. But, you know, you can be trained on different methods, techniques, and psychology that improve your skills working with kids. But if you don't have the knack, it's pretty hard to work around children and enjoy it. Now, I'm going to tell a little story. I drive a route that has about a half a dozen kids on it who really like to test the limits, especially of the safety rules on the bus, and I have to be fairly strict with them. A new driver was hired here at the district I work at, and we'll call him Todd. You know, Todd came on board and said he had 20 years of experience as a licensed and certified school bus driver. So after that, the routes got changed, and Todd took over my old route, and I warned the guy, you know, you're going to have to be pretty strict, or these kids are really going to push and test you and push you. And I even warned the dispatchers of that. And on the 4th day of him driving the route, I guess the kids just went crazy, and he quit after the morning route. My boss called me and said, "Paul, can you come back and drive this route again?" And I said yes. And it took about a week to week and a half because the kids just had gone crazy, and there was no discipline. And so I had to be fairly strict to get things back in line. So just an example, you know, some people just aren't good working around kids. And if you are a commercial driver and you're not good with kids, well, then school bus driving is not for you. So that wraps up this episode of Bus Talk on the 3 root causes of the school bus driver shortage. I'd be interested if anybody has any comments or thoughts or opinions on the matter to share them on this video.